Matchup up against outstanding defense for Texas A&M and one of the more disciplined offensive teams you'll see in the country, one of the best shooting teams in Utah State.
Second in the nation from beyond the arc. Texas A&M, of course, knows how to defend it. And we've got a couple of players, including Ty Wesley inside, who just turned it over.
3 of 4 now. All 3 of his makes are from beyond the arc.
Utah State has made their last 4 straight. Tyler Newbold is into the game. He dumps it down to Bindle. And a rejection inside by Turner.
Jared Quayle, the senior. Didn't have anything, so they set it back up.
Smart. This guy's very smart with the ball.
Always taking a peek over the bench, get word from the coach, and then he runs the show. Pooh Williams sweeps across the lane, draws the foul.
Well, Steve Morrill is a guy.
He'll never be a part of our star watch necessarily, but last year he led all of college basketball assist to turnover ratio. He just doesn't make mistakes.
He had 110 assists and 27 turnovers the whole year. It's amazing. Amazing. Not as good this year, however.
Newbold handling the ball here. Finds Green. Bob said can really shoot it, and lately he's been even hotter than that. Wesley this time doesn't get it to go, but Brady Jardine cleans it up.
Get that. I'm doing the best I can guarding you. So it'll be interesting. 3 shooters, but they've gone man-to-man now. So they're going to have to chase these shooters for the Aggies, and the Aggies will use a lot of time on that clock before they finally get something looking at the basket.
Motion offense from the Aggies.
Now screen on the ball problem.
Shot clock under 5. Quayle with a runner. Too hard off the glass. Babbitt comes away with the rebound. Nevada in an overtime contest alongside the coach Bob Donwald. I'm Todd Harris. Glad to have you with us here on ESPNU. Classic Aggies basketball. Ball movement.
You see a lot of screening, flash out, back cut. Here comes your shooter. You saw the little screening for the big down inside. Now screen onto it. How many screens have we seen?
3 or 4 already in this possession. This is Newbold. Finds Jardine. Kicks it back out. Shot clock down to 4. Green fires. Can't get it. And Jared Quayle once again.
Well, you got 3 guys sitting there with 8 points in Sloan, Holmes, and LeBeau, so everybody contributing.
Green off the curl. Again, those catch and shoot opportunities just not
Johnson's game, and now it'll be interesting to see whether the pack lose focus or whether they were able to regroup and stay with what they got to do. That's a tough shot.
And that was a tough shot.
Never heard of anything like that.
It's remarkable.
Another baseline play, and Quayle comes down with it. Wesley's running the floor. Stetso got back on defense, at least slow the Aggies down for a moment, and now they'll look back to the bench and call a play.
I like the Shockers' attitude out here, though. You know, I mean, this is a tough team to guard, and even when they're scoring, they're coming back at their end. No double still.
Wesley with the left hand, no shooter's roll this time. And the Shockers get the ball. Hannah passes up the shot. Hatch, a good outside shooter, but he can't line it up. So the Shockers are cold from outside. Meyer fumbling the ball, gets it back.
Utah State is quick to lose balls, too. I've seen their last 3 games. Strong-handed players. Look at this back door.
Little Princeton action for Jackson Myers.
Very physical.
Quayle, little pick and pop there move. Give and go.
A star down at Texas A&M and Chris Middleton, and that was a very unselfish play by Donald Sloan to give the extra pass.
Well, he has worked hard on his defensive game, which you have to if you play for Mark Turgeon. That one does not go for Newbold. Philadelphia back in 2006, 3 sets of Wildcats. Villanova, Arizona, and Kentucky. Wesley looking for Jared Quayle running that backdoor cut, but it was well defended. This young man can really shoot it. You better stay with him. That one comes up a bit short. Texas A&M by 11. quite as much from Quayle. The quickness of Holmes identifying him, although that time he did get the shot up, did not fall. I wouldn't think that I would be more of a defensive coach, but in truth I am.
Well, he never thought he wanted to be an offensive guy.
Yes, he did.
And you just settled in and you find out who you are over the course of your career.
Bendel knocks the backs for his high school friend from Dallas, Texas.
Well, it's in rolling too, and it impacted the team that he was the emotional leader of the squad. He was their best defender, and they had to replace that, which isn't easy to do. And to his credit, coming back from the injury, that Roland stepped up and has still been that presence in the locker room.
Wesley, again, well defended without much help by
of his quickness and his ability to use the bounce.
The problem for the Shockers is they can't take even in the second half. They got to win this second half to come from behind here in a very tough place to win.
And you do it at this end defensively.
Bendel has that kind of range.
ability down low has been a difference on those 50-50 balls.
Right, he's going to be, boy, what a blossoming freshman this kid is. Not only the ability to shoot the three, but also work inside. He's got nice length to him.
Quayle off the curl, not there.
Both ends of it, the Texas A&M has been dominant offensively, and how about holding Utah State to 27 points in the half?
This is now a 10-2 run, and the lead catapulted to 15. Wesley, who has the last 6 for Utah State, looks to get more inside. Stayed with it. And gets the putback.
Here in the second half.
And the pack goes back man to man, which is interesting. Yeah, they got to fight the screens. They go right down into Wesley. Pretty good. Hunt's pretty good down in there defensively.
Quayle with a floater, can't get it to fall.
Need to step it up for the Aggies of Utah State.
One of the things you really notice in the first 20 minutes, Mike, as efficient and as skilled as Utah State is, the more athletic, longer and leaner Aggies of Texas A&M have made it difficult on Utah State's perimeter to get involved. There's a rejection, but that was on the downward.
One three-point shooting team in the country, #1, and they've taken one all game, and yet they lead by 10.
It speaks to the balance of their team.
Who Williams, who finished the first half with a flourish, this time got stuffed.
Jared Quayle, senior from Perry, Utah. Boo Williams, both so effective and struggling early on today, but Quayle and Williams have to get on
factor offensively and be in that 10 to 15 range every game. This is going to be a tough out.
Quayle off the curl. And LeBeau the rebound.
Right, just
3 really good shooters, and if you put Babbitt out there, you got 4 perimeter shooters against that zone.
Quayle, the smart player, he'll back it out, runs Steve Morrill's offense as he takes a look over the side. Utah State, one of the teams that flashes in their plays by way of card. They have 2 sets of cards, though. One's a dummy set to confuse the opponent, and one's the real play.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm counting on you to be able to tell us which one's the real one.
I'm usually the dummy set.
That screen on the ball has bothered him.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Great feed.
Brady Jardine with a beautiful.
As a result, ball hits front rim.
Newbold right there for the defensive board. No sniff of offensive rebounding early on for the Shockers.
Keep an eye inside how physical it's going to get with the 4 interior guys.
It's Wesley one-on-one. He shows off the left hand tonight. Still Shockers back within 6. Quayle looks down low. Jardine faces up and under, draws a foul.
10-point lead, they'll walk it up and run the shot clock.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of times it's what we call false motion. They're just running around, and all of a sudden they'll look for it.
Beautiful inside pass from Quayle to Wesley. Can't get it, but there's your player.